I was fascinated by what you said about not reporting people to Google for this, and we've tried a few times to report some really blatant abuses and haven't seen any response from Google. It's like those sites just keep on ticking. I was wondering if, I don't know, could we do an informal poll or something?
Do you do it through the your Webmaster Tools account? That's they claim that because you're now verified, they know who you are.
I think that is how it is.
Yeah, like I said, I've never reported, so I don't know. But that's what I've always heard through the years, and so that's also discouraging.
Right.
What do you think about it? America is sort of an interesting country. You can do whatever you want. Like you can go drill in the Gulf of Mexico with a
That was an English company.
but then after you do it, if you didn't do a good job, then you get sued.
Yeah, right.
So is there a role in here for people to get sued for unfair competition? A guy who puts up 5 identical websites and doesn't indicate they're connected, that's really price fixing. You're holding out to the public, I got 5 entities and they're all separate, but really they're not. If you did that with the store, you'd get sued. And maybe we're not that savvy on the web yet, but is there a role for privateers to go out and go after these pirates?
That's a good question. Probably one for an attorney, with a law. What do they call those lawsuits where a whole bunch of people class action sue, perhaps. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably more trouble.
Maybe people are just going to keep doing stuff until they get fear that they're going to be sued.
Maybe.
The fear of Google isn't any good. Google doesn't have enough incentive to clean up.
Right.
I think that Google doesn't clean up the search results because when the search results are bad, then you have to advertise to be heard.
Oh, I agree with that.
Exactly. They want them to be just, I was telling that to someone before, they want them to be just good enough that people don't go elsewhere, but just bad enough that you have to click on the ads.
If they get too good, then they start cutting funding from the search spam group and staff there.
Yeah. No, it cuts into their ads. People won't click the ads if the results are relevant. When I'm shopping for something on Google, I almost always have to go to the ads because the regular results stink. Or they're just Wikipedia. That doesn't help me buy something. But let's ask, see if anyone else has had, has anyone had any success having sites banned?
I've done a few of them. It's been a while, and I at least a couple of them. A couple months after I turned the competitor in for doing whatever it was, it stopped. So I think it can. I had one customer, a large office supply e-commerce site, and their key competitor was even larger, was doing blog spam, just blatant blog spam, and I turned it in via Webmaster Tools. A couple months later, it stopped.
By blog spam, what do you mean? What were they doing?
They had the same gibberish articles with keywords that they had gotten out to other, to blogs to have them put it up in different places. It was just obvious that it wasn't just, machine generated articles.
That's from what I can tell, it seems like it works temporarily if you don't keep up with it, and then they eventually, it's like the new stuff gets gone, after it gets old, then it doesn't count anymore. But if you keep bombarding it, it seems to work, which is crazy. I can't understand why Google lets that stuff. They have all those linked networks that, are just created by the spammers, and then, their articles don't make any sense. But they all link back with the keyword phrase. I mean, how does Google let that stuff happen? That's just like unfathomable.
Well, especially considering how much money they have. So that's a case where I would almost say, like you were saying, they don't really do what editorial decisions aren't made. They need to do more editorial decisions. In a case like that, let's call that an editorial decision. They need to decide to somehow police that. Or the example I would use, like this gentleman here from like a manufacturing directory service. If you go on like Google and try to search for like a special number for a semiconductor or something, you're going to get these people that are like electronic supply places that, maybe they can order this for you. They don't have it in stock. Yeah. And you come up to a page with like 5 million part numbers on it. Yeah. But that's not an isolated incident. That kind of stuff is just incredibly widespread across Google. And they could do something about that. They could get people and police that editorially, so to speak, but they just don't seem to have a desire.
Maybe there's so much. They do have what do they call them? They do have people that actually do the raters or something that do rate websites. They have like interns and stuff, and they have all these guidelines that they're supposed to follow. But I don't, there's just billions and billions and billions of pages. And I don't know what they do with that information, but I mean, it'd be nice if we actually had a Google rep here to,
I was a rater. No.
Huh?
I was a rater.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we would rate sites poorly and it didn't matter. As far as I could
It
tell.
didn't matter, so they'd still be.
I think I'm allowed to reveal that much.
So what did they do with the information? You don't really know?
No, they wouldn't tell us, but spammy sites would always get rated negatively by everybody, and they're still there. They're still in the ratings, so they know. They know.
Yeah, that's what's so frustrating. That's the thing. If you saw it help, when you reported something, if you saw some change, or you saw this, not the same as spammy techniques from 10 years ago that can still work. If you saw that it wasn't working, or at least we'd feel better. And how do we tell clients when they call and say, I want to do this? We had a client today saying, my competitors, look at these crazy reciprocal weirdo links that they have. Should I be doing this too? And it's hard to say no, you shouldn't, because it's like, well, maybe you should, and we don't. We say no, let's do this other stuff instead, and hopefully that'll be better. But you start to feel stupid. Google really makes you feel stupid sometimes, because this stuff does work. And so that's why I'm not, in this presentation, I wasn't telling you it doesn't work. I'm not going to tell you it doesn't. I'm not going to tell you not to do it either, because you might want to make money. But I don't, other than like what you said, perhaps, it's not illegal to spam search. You're just creating websites. Google finds them on their own. That's not illegal. Yeah.
So if these spammy sites are showing up higher in the organic search results, and Google might be passively turning a blind eye to it because it increases the revenue on paid search, aren't they all of a sudden part of the problem?
Yeah, I guess, is not doing something,
At what point is there, what point are you going to sell white hat SEO when now, you've got Google working against you as well?
It makes it tough, but I think, like I said, we at least can be the ones that are trying to do good, and and it is true that the best sites can do better, if they really are good, but it's a lot of work. It takes a lot more work to make a really good site than it does to spam 5 crappy sites, that's for sure. So people don't always want to do all the work.
Jill, did you notice the first ad on the first slide you put up of Google, the SEO results? It was for AdWords.
Which one?
The first Google set of, the SEO set of.
Oh, the SEO ones.
Back, there it is.
Right. Right, so the
No, it
top,
was a different one then.
I don't think I had, this one?
There was a chart for that.
SEO is.
Just the is
Oh,
one.
the
The
SEO
SEO
is
is
one.
one.
Oh yeah, Google hates SEO, there's a lot of, so what were you saying? Is
I
this
thought
the,
the first was the first one. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
oh yeah,
Sorry.
for SEO is, that was, yeah, I didn't actually even do a whole search. Oh, I guess I did. Yeah. So yeah, exactly, so they want you to, so you're looking and saying, well, SEO is bullshit, but let me do that.
That's right.
You're right.
SEO is so much bullshit that you better just buy
Yeah.
ads for this.
Yeah, George? Yeah.
There are some methods that the search engines like Google have pretty well eliminated over the years that, like just submitting to low quality directories and free for all stuff. I don't think it's quite as bad as you don't do anything. We remember so there's always been for years things that would help, and then they devalue and cat and mouse game. A lot of that, they have done away with.
Yeah, but even then, I still hear people say that stuff works sometimes. The low quality directors, or maybe they're better quality or something. I don't really get into that stuff much, but
The article submissions used to make a bigger difference. Makes no difference now. The press releases used to make a big difference. And There's
Yeah.
things that have been devalued. The keyword stuffing some of us used to do back in the early days with keyword tags.
But even, you know, even that stuff, you still see it work. You still see keyword stuff pages with the content on the page, not the keyword tag, but, you know, you still see that seeming to work. But yeah, I mean, they've gotten better, no doubt. No doubt that Google has, and you know, they've been better than all the other search engines, and they're still better than Bing and Yahoo by far. And like I said, it's not, I don't really blame them. I do think it's, a lot of it is because it's the spammers that are just, they're gonna keep on top of it no matter what it is. So it's, you know, it's tricky, but it's frustrating when you do point stuff out to them and they do ignore it, or some stuff that's just crazy that they allow.